Welcome to the key to all of this. I'm Tim. This is my co-host Dylan.
I'm your Ho co-host. You just call me Ho co-host.
A Ho co-host.
Ho Katan.
Very loose with his
Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. And today we're talking about the never-made film, Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9.
Yeah, what a great script. Of what amazing. rumored leak, but incredible. Yeah.
Well, we definitely got the art for it in the kind of breakdown, but it's still unclear whether that script that went around was belonging to the project. But it seems like all signs point to heck yes, it's the same script.
Yeah, I would have loved to see that. I just would have absolutely loved it. It reminded me so much of Empire Strikes Back. Like it had that feeling of this is a whole new situation for our characters to be in and more obscure than just like kind of the box office route of like good guy's going to do the good thing, bad guy's going to do the bad thing. It was very like all over the place.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, it's hard to even pinpoint favorite part, whether it's the Poe, Rey, like Han, Leia kind of storyline, or the battle or reintroducing Coruscant. Like, one thing after another, it's like, I wish I could have seen this movie so badly.
Yeah, I think tying it in with Coruscant in the episode 9, which we kind of have to assume is the final like Star Wars, episode. But yeah, finishing it off with a huge Coruscant battle, which was, the reason for the key to all of it. Coruscant, that's where everything started. So Tatooine, but also Coruscant. But yeah, I would have loved that.
And I also love that they made Ren the villain. Like, there's no question about it. Like, it's him. He goes to, I believe he goes to the person who trained the Sith Lord that trains Plagueis.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a great move to make him just straight up the villain.
Like, Tor Valen was the character.
Yeah, no redemption storyline there. Just like, pure he's bad. Like, I love that.
Yeah, and they have that kind of in the script. They had kind of that like Sith and apprentice. So Kylo Ren almost became the apprentice again, but then used like the Force drain on Tor Valen and killed him. Like, great, you showed me how to kill you. Now I'm going to do it. I don't care about Vader. Yeah, it's time to do this.
I love the use of like Luke's Force Ghost, kind of harassing him a little bit more. I loved the storyline around Finn like recruiting like other beleaguered stormtroopers. I just think what makes it great is it like shows like, oh, the First Order has won. This is the result, and it's like apocalyptic. Like, they're terrible, as everyone thought they would be. Like, I think that shows something that's never been seen before in Star Wars is like the political aftermath.
Yeah, and something that would have been great to see too is using the sacred Jedi texts. It's like there was such a big story in The Last Jedi that the sacred texts, they're so important, and there's the joke between Yoda and Luke of how long they are, and they skim through them. But to see Rey actually read through to learn like the Force beacon, using a whole new power to try to pull everyone she can, while Finn is trying to pull everyone he can. It's such a better way of getting help from everyone. Like, this is how they do it, rather than what did happen, where it was just kind of like, if we work together, we can all work together, which was essentially the thing is, you have to tell people that we're together in this to make it all work. But in this situation, it's, yo, we need help. Get over here. And they're doing it however they can. Awesome.
I also love that it was Ren who killed Rey's parents in this script. I mean, it just makes it much more of that, pulling at the heartstrings,
Yeah.
rather than, it was Palpatine and then this unknown assassin we've never heard about who killed Rey's parents, who like a clone of Palpatine. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's a great way to build Ren up even more as the bad guy. And also, what's the situation? Is it like Batman kind of situation where like she's with her parents in like an alleyway and Kylo Ren's like, I'm upset, and like kills them? Or is it like they're dropping their kid off at school and they're like picking her up from school or whatever, and it's like, there's the bad kid or whatever. There was so much to play off of that rather than, we don't know who your parents are. Oh yeah, your parents are Palpatine's son, clone, whatever. Cool. Like Kylo Ren killing your parents, like that makes it a whole other, no, I'm your father moment of, no,
yes,
I killed your father.
Yeah, I mean, it fits like, it fits so well with The Last Jedi when he says, there were nobodies.
Yeah.
It would make sense that he would think about people he's killed that way. Yeah, it's just chock full of like really cool moments, like Chewie getting into an X-wing.
An X-wing?
Yeah. So he needs. That would be amazing to see. I also think that ending with kind of the same way the first film started with the award ceremony with the Oscars. You know how A New Hope ends with the Golden Globes. To do it that way is also, I just think, like a really nice touch.
Yeah, do you think that Colin would have written in for Maz Kanata to still give a medal to Chewbacca because somehow she knew about that?
I think so. I think that would. We all need a little bit more Maz Kanata in our lives.
Yeah. I will say I did love how Episode 9 did end with everyone celebrating together. We just won this war. That is kind of what I would expect from Colin's script as well. And very fitting. I just, Chewbacca getting that award at the end just doesn't really make sense. But yeah, there's a lot of really good moments that this movie would have been absolutely no fan service. This would have been playing more off of the forget the past kind of thing, while also giving us the past. Like one of the biggest moments that I think would have been one of the coolest scenes emotionally is Hux apparently killing himself with Mace Windu's lightsaber. We get that little nod from Coruscant. We get, our second episode of the key to all of this. Han Solo. Mace Windu lands on the balcony underneath, $4.99, Republica. Yes. But, his lightsaber keeps falling. But what a moment of that's how Hux should have gone. Yeah. He, takes the coward way out rather than I was the spy, and then he just gets blasted in the tum-tum. But yeah,
the rumbly tum.
Yeah,
I think that would have been great fitting in for him. And he's also an Imperial, so like good to see like an Imperial like fulfill their dream of like ruling over Coruscant, and it's like it's like an apocalyptic nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like really cool. I will say, I really liked, in episode 9 that did end up getting to the cutting room floor, that the final battle was great. And I think that's reflected a little bit in this too, just over Coruscant instead. And yeah, what a tour de force.
Yeah, I mean, what a great way to have, rather than the Battle of Exegol, the Battle of Coruscant, like Palpatine had all of these ships under Coruscant. Like Kylo Ren finds that out. You know, he was in the script, he was trying to find this like special power or something, but he kept coming across kind of like holodiscs of Darth Vader saying, or Palpatine talking to Vader. But what if one of them was, I have an army under Coruscant? And that led to Kylo Ren and Hux in this massive Coruscant battle. All the ships rising just like they did on Exegol, but as they're rising,
make more sense too.
Light speed, all the good people light speed right into Coruscant. It would have been the best moment in Star Wars for me, I think, if we would have seen that.
Yeah, I think, and it also shows like the First Order taking control of Coruscant too, for the first time. So I'm like, it's like a fitting end. Fitting end, absolute fitting end.
But I have written down here that we would have gotten to see the Knights of Ren more than just the Kylo Ren little battle there at the end with the shrug and then the lightsaber behind the back. It would have been nice to see them running around. Kylo Ren, as he's walking through Coruscant, just walking, not doing anything, and the Knights of Ren are just destroying everyone around him. They're just... I would have loved to see that. I think Knights of Ren was one of the biggest things that we were built up to love from the sequel trilogy that we never got.
I also think that seeing Rey kill the Knights of Ren after learning that they killed her parents is just like that much more fulfilling. You know, and to build them up more like that would be, I mean, that's the one thing I think like they missed, you know, a real good chance on in that trilogy, is that we never really saw how badass the Knights of Ren are. You know,
we saw a lot of people not wanting to deal with Kylo Ren. Like you could even see some of there was like a joke where the First Order troopers hear him or they see he broke something and then they turn around and walk the other way. But if that happened with Vader, the people would have rushed there to be like, what's going on, Vader? How can I help you? And we never got to see anyone who idolized Ren. And they were the Knights of Ren. I mean, they should have been at his side through 7, 8, and 9. And then Rey kills them all. Like, boom. That's how you show that Rey's ready to fight Kylo Ren, is she's destroyed everyone.
She passes like the test of beating them first before going after like kind of their master. But I'm glad that this thing leaked, because it is, you know, rarely do we get an insight of like what could have been. This is a real amazing coulda, woulda, shoulda, really.
And I would have loved to see. So Rey was supposed to be Rey Solano. I think Ray that was Romano, supposed to be hey, and everybody loves Rey Solana. And I would have loved to see the ending of Colin Trevorrow's movie. The end of this trilogy is Kylo is all of the Sith. Rey is all of the Jedi. They fight. Neither of them make it out alive. Bringing full balance to the entire Star Wars Skywalker saga. It still ends with the big ceremony at the end, but we already know from The Last Jedi that there's Broom Boy, you know, there's Finn, you know, people are still Force sensitive, and it kind of has to start from scratch. And that could bring us into the next movie where Finn's our villain. Boom, key to all of this, right back to episode 1.
Anything else you'd like to discuss from this almost made film that never was?
No, I just still want to see it made. That's all I have to say to that. How about you?
This has been a great episode of The Key to All of This. I've been Tim. This is Dylan. And join us next time when we discuss what if Anakin beat Obi-Wan
on Mustafar.
May the Force be with you,
and also with you. Thanks.
You shouldn't have,
and I won't.